Good evening again, everybody. Mike here, Flying V Cards and Breaks. We are back again. This time we are doing our MNT Group Grading Submission number 8 reveal, okay? So we've gotten everything on the table, so it's easy and simple for us to do the reveal here. I'm just going to tag the people on the Facebook side who submitted so that everybody gets the notification here. So just give me a moment as I tag everybody. This shouldn't take long. All right, I think I've got everybody. Hopefully those tags work. All right, well, let's get to it. So for those unfamiliar, MNT is in Canada. They do grading. So if you haven't ever graded your cards, you can send them in. You get a grade out of 10, and then you get subgrades. 4 subgrades. You got the surface, you got the corners, you have the edging, and then the centering. So that's how they kind of do the assessment of the cards. And through our group Flying V, we do group submissions so we can offer a better rate. If you send in your cards, I clean the cards as well for you. I inspect them. If I think a card really is in bad shape, I will let you know and say, hey, you know what? You probably don't want to waste your money to send this card in. If you still want to send it, obviously we can do that. So you get the kind of the assessment, the first look over before sending it to MNT. And then they do the grading and they send it back to me and I send back the card to you. So that's kind of how that works. In my opinion, MNT is the best company within Canada for grading. Really reasonable rates compared to, the likes of PSA, Beckett in the States, where you're often paying $150 plus to get your cards graded. But this is very reasonable, under $50 a card, and pretty reasonable turnaround times as well. Usually between 3 and 4 months has kind of been the average that we've been seeing. And so, yeah, I'm excited to do the reveal tonight. So we're going to start here by showing some of the people who submitted a few cards, and then we'll go into those who sent in more cards, all right? So we'll kind of get the ones who were just a couple of submissions out of the way first. So, all right, good luck, everybody. I have not looked these cards over, okay? I took them out of the boxes, and I put them all face down, labeled them. So I do not know what the grades are. So I know a couple of people are like, oh, do you know what my grades are? I'm like, nope, I haven't. I don't look at them. I purposely avoid that. So it's exciting for me to see as well with you. Okay. So we're going to start things off tonight with a single submission. Chris Bradford submitted a Quinn Hughes Young Guns. Let's adjust our camera on YouTube here. So we have a Quinn Hughes Young Guns was submitted by Chris. So good luck, Chris. Take her out here. Let's see what we got. And we have, nice, a 9.5. 4 9.5s across the board there for Chris on corner, surface, edges, and centering. 9.5 on the Quinn Hughes. Congrats there, Chris. Solid start for us. 9.5. All right, next up, we got Rob Imbo. Rob Imbo submitted a Orange Slice Ovi. Orange Slice Ovi from Allure. Come on, what do we got? And it's a 9.5 as well. Nice. And these are sometimes very hard to get, the 9.5, because of the cut on the die cut. And they're not always cut perfectly, but that's actually pretty solid. And the only thing that got a 9 on this was the corners. So nice grade there, 9.5 Orange Slice Ovi. Congrats, Rob. Nice one there. Next up, we got a monster. Crazy. I pulled 2 of these for Nick. Shadow box Connor McDavid out of 25 gold auto. Your auto got a 10. Okay, your auto got a 10 and a 9, which honestly, for thick cards, is a good grade. 9. So the only thing that was not a 9 was the corners, which got an 8.5. So shadow box auto, a 9. Nice grade for the thick cards. In my opinion, anytime you can get at least a 9 for the thicker cards, 180 point, kind of pretty solid. Next up, we had a 3-card submission for Rob Allen. Let's start here. Let's start with the Connor McMichael French. Yeah, the other one got an 8.5. So, Rob, good luck, sir. Connor McMichael French Young Guns. We got a 9. So, it was a 9 for the corners and the surface, and the edges and the centering, a 9.5. So, a 9 on the McMichael. Let's go here next. We have a victory rookie, Alex Ovechkin. Come on. And nice. It's got a 9.5. Very good grade there. 9.5 across the board on the Alex Ovechkin victory rookie. Good grade there. Congrats, Rob. Nice grade. That was my card, actually, originally. We made a deal on that. And then next up, we have an Upper Deck Young Guns exclusive. Young Guns exclusive, Alexander Romanov. And that one's clocking in at a 9. 57 out of 100 exclusives, Young Gun Romanov. You got 9 on the edges, 9 on the corners, 9 on the surface, but the centering came in at an 8.5. Centering 8.5. The centering always, that's one of the harder ones to get perfect. So a 9 on the exclusives. All right, we'll put those aside. Thank you very much for submitting with me, Rob. All right, let's see here. Let's see where we're going to go next here. Let's go here. Jim submitted 2 cards. We'll start with the Drew O'Connor French Young Guns. Drew O'Connor. And that will come in at a 9.5. 9.5 Drew O'Connor. Everything but the edges getting a 9.5 and your edges getting a 9. So a 9.5 on the O'Connor. Come on. As well, you submitted a Bowen Byram Young Guns. And that also clocking in at a 9.5. You got 9.5s across the board on the Byram. Nice. 9.5s across the board. Congrats. All right, next up, we got Fred Ching. Submitted some Pokemon cards. We'll start with those. And we had I think a Japanese Pikachu VMAX that came in at an 8. Unfortunately, the corners were a 7.5, surface 8.5, centering 9, and the edges an 8. Japanese Pikachu VMAX. Hey, Fred, how are you? I think you said you submitted these on behalf of a friend. Another Japanese, this was a Hyper Metal Chain Deck Dialga. 7.5 on that, 7.5. 7 on the corners, 7.5 edges, surface 8, centering a 9. So unfortunately, not the grades we were hoping for on the Japanese ones there. All right, we move along to your submissions. Hey, Chris, how are you, buddy? I tagged you. I tagged you for yours. Let me go back here just so you don't need to stick around if you don't want to. We started off actually with your card, buddy. Your Quinn Hughes Young Gun. Quinn Hughes Young Gun, and you got a nice grade, buddy. We had 9.5. 9.5 across the board on the Quinn Hughes Young Gun for you. So a nice grade there for your Quinn Hughes. That was the only submission of yours in this one. All right. Back to Fred here. We had a Aquamarine Marquee Rookies. Nick Robertson coming in at a 9. 9. So everything, sorry, I shouldn't say everything on this one. I thought there was a 8.5, but we got 9 on the corners and the centering and a 9.5 on the edges and the surface. So on the Nick Robertson Aquamarine. Next up, you had a Yellow Taxi. Yellow Taxi, Nick Robertson. Peachy Platinum. Yellow Taxi. 9. Exact same grades. Exact same grades. 9 on the centering, 9 on the corners, 9.5 on surface and edges on the Yellow Taxi. But frustrating. I was hoping usually Platinum grades pretty well, but come on. Let's change it up here. Violet Pixels up next, Nick Robertson. Violet Pixels. And that one was a 9 on all but the centering, which came in at a 9.5. But frustrating on these ones. 9 on all but the centering, which clocked in at a 9.5. Come on. Next up, we had Arctic Freeze. Arctic Freeze, Timothy Liljegren. Arctic Freeze. Again, a 9. Again, a 9. So all but the corners were a 9.5 on the Timothy Liljegren Arctic Freeze. Not that 9 is a terrible grade, but 9, you always typically try to aim for 9.5 or higher. Next up, we had the Premier Austin Matthews. Premier Austin Matthews. There we go. That's a little more like it. 9.5. 9.5. Austin Matthews Premier Superstars. So everything but the corners got a 9. Or sorry, got a 9.5, and the corners got a 9. That's a little more like it. Austin Matthews. What else did we get here? All right, we will go to the Alex DeBrincat Young Guns next. Alex DeBrincat Young Guns. And that's a 9 as well. So 9 on the edges, 9 on the corners, and 9.5 on the centering and the surface. Alex DeBrincat. He must have been a Habs fan. And next up, a couple of cards I really appreciate being a Canucks fan. We got some vintage cards. Black Diamond, Daniel Sedin. And this is actually pretty good. To get a 9 on these, because this is back from 98-99. Nice grade. 9. I think that's pretty solid. You got 8.5 on the corners, 9 on the surface and edges, and a 9.5 on the centering. So not too bad on those guys. Yeah, old school. And we also submitted the companion, twin brother, Henrik Sedin, also 9. All got 9 except the centering, which got an 8.5. 8.5. So not bad on the black diamonds there. Thank you very much, Fred, for submitting those with me. Put those aside. Next up, we got Mr. Andrew Chang. I think we got, these are all, yeah, we'll do Andrew next, and then we'll follow it up with Zach. So Andrew, good luck. All right, good luck. We're going to start things off with the Alexi Lafreniere. And that was from the Fall Expo. And that's a nice grade, 9.5. 9.5. So you got a 9.5 on all but the edges, which got a 9. So the Fall Expo, 73 out of 100. Nice start there, Andrew. No Charizards were submitted in this, Aaron. By the way, if you are interested in some oldies, I have some graded Pokemon that I'm actually looking to move. All right, next up, we had a Bowen Byram. I think this was silver foil or speckled. Nice. 9.5, speckled rainbow, Bowen Byram. Nice grade on the speckled rainbow. Good start, Andrew. So all but the edges, 9.5. Next up, we got Alexi Lafreniere. We have, I think this is a retro young gun. That one is a 9. Retro young gun, Laffy. So 9 on edges, 9 on corners, 9.5 surface and centering. Next up, we got Niels Hoaglander. I think this might be, this is the silver foil. Niels Hoaglander young gun, a 9. Ah, very nice, Aaron. So 9.5 on everything except the edges, which came in at an 8.5. So silver foil, Niels Hoaglander young gun. 9. Next up, we got the Niels Hoaglander. I think this is the speckled gold rainbow. Yes, it is, and that's coming in at a 9. Speckled gold rainbow, Niels Hoaglander. So 8.5 on edges, 9.5 surface centering, and a 9 on the corners. Niels Hoaglander. Beautiful card, though. Speckled rainbow. Another Niels Hoaglander. I think this is a retro exclusives. Retro exclusives. Coming in at a 9. 8.5 on the corners, centering and surface 9.5, and a 9 on the edges. 9 on the edges. Hoaglander. Next up, we got a Bowen Byram exclusives. Exclusives, retro, Bowen Byram. Ooh, that one's an 8.5. Yeah, happy Easter, Aaron. 8.5. That's the lowest grade of these so far. The corners was what brought this one down. The corners got an 8. Edges 9, centering 9, and the surface a 9.5. Yeah, have a good night, Aaron. Thanks for stopping by. And last but certainly not least, a clear-cut Jack Rathbone Young Guns. Clear-cut Jack Rathbone. Nice. Woo, man, so close. And that's the exclusives as well. 10 on the corners, 10 on the edges, 9 on the surface, and a 9.5 on the centering. That is the closest we've come to a 10 so far tonight. And these are very well known to have surface issues, the clear cut. That's usually you get the surface lines from the printing, but very nice grade there. 9.5 exclusives, clear cut. Those are rare. Jack Rathbone. Very nice. All right, there are your cards, Andrew. Thank you very much, buddy. Next up, Zac Finn. Thanks, buddy, for submitting these. We got some Young Guns that were submitted by Zach. Starting us off will be a Brady Tkachuk Young Gun, and he's going to like it. 9.5. 9.5. Brady Tkachuk. Everything but the edges getting 9.5, and the edges getting a 9. Brady Tkachuk Young Guns. Next up, Andrei Svechnikov. Andrei Svechnikov, Young Guns. And that one will be a 9. So we got 9 on the surface and edges, 9.5 on the corners and centering. Svech. Next up, we got the Cappy, Kaprizov. This kid is the real deal. His stuff keeps going up. Kaprizov Young Guns. Nice. 9.5. On all but the edges, which got a 9. Kaprizov. Very nice. 9.5. And lastly, for Zach, we got a Timmy Schutzler. Tim Schutzler. And this will also be a 9.5. All but the edges again, coming in at a 9.5, and the edges a 9. So pretty solid grades there, Zach. Pretty solid grades. Very nice. Thanks again for submitting with me. All right, we move along. We got Kevin Singh up next. Kevin Singh, and then we will be finishing things off with a large batch submission by Ian. Again, thank you very much, Ian, for submitting with me. All right, so let's start things off here. We'll do that one last. Okay. We got a Washington, Anthony Rendon, baseball. This was a Topps update series rookie. Anthony Rendon, 8 on the corners, 9.5 centering, 8.5 edges, and a 9 on the surface. So that is our first one, Anthony Rendon. I think Kurt. Yes, Kurt, you are in this, buddy. Yours will be actually next. I thought this was all Kevin's, but yours is in here as well. Start with that. Next up, we got a Chris Sale. I think this is a Chris Sale rookie. And that will be a 9. A 2011 Topps Series 1 rookie, Chris Sale. 9 on corners and edges, 9.5 on surface and centering on the Chris Sale. Next up, we got a Derrick Jeter. That's a 7. Ouch. Top prospect, 1993. 7 on the edges, 7 on the corners, 7.5 surface, and an 8.5 on the centering. Derrick Jeter. No, Ryan, you are not in this one. I think you're in number 9. Sorry, there's 2 out already. Number 9 and number 10 are in. This is number 8. So you're for sure in either number 9 or number 10. I'm pretty sure it's number 9, though. I'll have to go back and look. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't say with 100% certainty. We got a Trey Turner. I think this is a rookie. Trey Turner rookie. Yep, Series 1. 9 on all 4 subgrades. Trey Turner. 9 on all subgrades. Trey Turner. Next up, we have a Rafael Devers rookie, and that will be a 9. Rafael Devers. 9 on all but the centering, which came in at an 8.5. Rafael Devers. Next up, we have a Jose Abreu. Jose Abreu rookie. Ah, man, a 7. 6.5 on the corners. Those corners don't look that bad. That's a tough one. Corners, 6.5. 7 on the surface, 8.5 on edges and centering. On the Jose Abreu rookie. Next up, Ja Morant. Come on, let's get a big one here with Ja Morant. And this one will be a 9 NBA hoops. 9 on the corners and edges and 9.5 surface and centering. Ja Morant, 9. Next up, we got Walker Buehler. Walker Buehler. And that will be a 9. Walker Buehler rookie. 9.5 on surface, 9 on edges and centering, and an 8.5 on the corners. Walker Buehler. Next up, we got a Vladdy Jr. rookie. Vladdy Jr. And that will be a 9 on the Vladdy. 8.5 corners, 9 on edges and centering, and 9.5 on the surface for the Vladdy Jr. Next up, we have a Jose Bautista rookie. Bit of a throwback here. Jose Bautista, that's a 7. Jose Bautista. 6.5 on the corners, 7.5 on the edges, 8 surface, and 9 on the centering. Jose Bautista. Next up, we have ringside action. Hulk Hogan. This is a cool one. Hulk Hogan. And that will come in at a 7. Listening to Hulkamania. 6.5 on the corners, 8 edges, 8 surface, and an 8.5 on the centering. Hulk Hogan. I think these are all Kurt's here. Let me double check. Yes, they are. And one more card for you, a Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman rookie. That is a 9.5. Freddie Freeman. So 9.5 on all but the edges, which got a 9. Freddie Freeman rookie. Nice one there. Good grade on the Freeman. Thanks again, Kevin, for submitting those with me. Next up, we got some cards for Kurt, and then we will finish off with Ian. Good luck, Kurt. Starting us off, we had a Pink Leopard auto from Allure. Pink Leopard, you got a 10 on the auto and a 9 on the card. 9 on all 4 subgrades. All 4 subgrades, a 9 on the PD Pink Leopard auto. Cool looking card. I like that card. Next up, we had a O-Pee-Chee matte pink auto. O-Pee-Chee matte pink auto for Alexi Lafreniere. A 10 on the auto and a 9 on the card. 9 on the edges and corners, 9.5 on the surface and centering. Matte pink, Laffy. Next up, let's see where we're going to go. We're going to go to the Bowen Byram for you. A little Avs action. Bowen Byram, a 10 on the auto. Nice. 9.5 on the card. Bowen Byram. So you got a 9 on the surface. Everything else got a 9.5. Nice one there on the Bowen Byram. Next up, we'll do another Bowen Byram for you. We had the green grand entrance auto for Allure. And another 9.5. 9.5 on the Byram. All but the centering got a 9. All but the centering, a 9. Grand entrance. Beauty. And Byram is starting to look really nice again for the Avs. Next up, let's do the Kaprizov Young Guns Canvas. Kaprizov Young Guns Canvas. Come on. Nice. 9.5. 9 on the corners. Everything else, 9.5 on the Kaprizov Young Guns Canvas. Very nice, Kurt. And last, we have a nice Josh Norris. Josh Norris orange checkers. 10 on the auto, 9 on the card. 9 on all but the centering, which got an 8.5. Dang. 8.5 on the centering. It's a little high on the back, but the front looked very clean. But 9 on the Norris. Beautiful, beautiful cards. Thank you very much, Kurt. Those are your submissions. And we shift over to Ian, who submitted a lot of cards. These are all yours, Ian. See if we can get you some big. Let me just put this into 3 stacks. They're looking a little high here, and it looks like it wants to topple on me. All right, let's start here. Adley Rutschman. Adley Rutschman. Good luck, Ian. We got a Adley Rutschman Mojo Refractor, a 9. 9.5 on corners, surface, edges, and centering, a 9. Adley Rutschman. Bowman Chrome. Next, we have Blaze Jordan. Blaze Jordan, and that is a 9.5. Very nice grade there. 9.5 on all but the surface, which gets a 9. Blaze Jordan, first Bowman Chrome. Nice one there. Next up, we have an Alex Bregman. Alex Bregman, 9.5, press proof, 2 out of 5. Beauty there. 9.5 on all 4 subgrades. All 4 subgrades on the Alex Bregman. Nice one there. Next up, we got, I think it's a tricolor Justin Jefferson. And a 9 on that one. Corners, surface, and centering, a 9. The edges, a 9.5 on the tricolor. Justin Jefferson. Next up, we got a Justin Fields rookie. Justin Fields, you got a 10 on the auto, 10 on the auto, and a 9 on the card. Centering was an 8.5, 9 on corners and edges, and a 9.5 on the surface on the Justin Fields. Next up, we got a Mac Jones auto. 10 on the auto, 9.5 on the card. Very nice. Everything on the subgrades is a 9.5. Nice graded card there. Mac Jones. The rookie's auto. Next up, a Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor. A 9 on the power formulas, 9 on edges, corners, 9.5 on centering and surface. Power formulas, Jonathan Taylor. Next up, we got an Allen Iverson rookie. Allen Iverson, and that will come in at a 9. Allen Iverson. We got a 9 on all but the edges, which was a 8.5. Allen Iverson. Next up, we got a Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson rookie. And that will be a 9. That is Elite Series rookies. 9 on corners, 9.5 surface edges, and the centering was an 8.5. 8.5 on the centering on the Wilson. Let's go back to another Mac Jones. Nice one there. You're doing well with the Mac Jones. 9.5, all 4 subgrades on the 2021. Mac Jones, 2021 on all 4 subgrades. Very nice. We'll do another Zach Wilson here. A 9 on the night moves, 9 on corners, surface, edges, and a 9.5 on the centering. 9 on the Wilson. Next up, we got a Kyle Lewis auto, rookie auto, Kyle Lewis, 10 on the auto, 9 on the card. 9 on all 3 except the surface, which was a 9.5. Kyle Lewis auto. We had another Allen Iverson rookie. Another 9. 9 on everything but the edges, which was an 8.5. Allen Iverson on the 9. For a 96-97 card, a 9 is a pretty solid grade. All right, we'll do a LaMelo Ball. Donruss Optic, 9 on the blue velocity. 8.5 on the centering. Man, centering looks pretty good. It's a little bit on the left on the back, but 8.5. 9.5 on the corners, on the edges, and a 9 on the surface. Let's go to a Mike Trout. Mike Trout, Chronicles Certified, a 9 on the mirror gold. 9.5 on all but the edges, all but the centering, which had an 8.5. So 9.5 on everything but centering, which was an 8.5. Mike Trout. Beautiful card, though. Do another LaMelo. And a 9 on the Purple Shock Prism. 9 on the Purple Shock Prism. 9.5 surface and corners, and a 9 on the centering and the edges. I'm just going to move these out of the way here. Do this stack first here. We have a Tom Brady Black. This was a thicker card. And it got an 8.5. Tom Brady Black, number 1 out of 10, 8.5. Again, the thicker cards just are a tougher grade. Surface was an 8, centering a 9.5, edges a 9, and the corner is an 8.5 on the Tom Brady. Next up, we got a Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow Prism. And that is a 9. The green Pulsar. 9 on edges, centering, corners, and a 9.5 on the surface. Green Pulsar, Joe Burrow. Next up, we got a Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray rookie. And that is a 9.5 on all 4 subgrades. Gold out of 50. 9.5, all 4 subgrades. Kyler Murray. Next up, Duncan Robinson auto. Duncan Robinson auto. Any 9. And for your thicker card, not bad, 9. 9 on the corners, surface, 9.5 edges and centering. Duncan Robinson, Recon auto. Next up, we got a little bit of a Kobe action, some Kobe action. Kobe Bryant. Nice. 9.5. There you go. That's a nice grade on the 12-13 Panini Prism Kobe for 9. My apologies. 3 9.5 grades, and he's 9 on the surface. Still a nice 9.5 on Kobe. Very nice. We got another LaMelo. We have a 9.5 on the Donruss Optic. 9.5 on all but edges, which got a 9. LaMelo. One more LaMelo. This one got a 9, unfortunately. The surface and edges a 9, centering and corners 9.5. Yes, rest in peace, Mamba. All right, next stack. What we got here? We have a Joey Bart. Joey Bart 9, gold blue. 9 on edges, corners, surface 9.5, and an 8.5 on the centering on the Joey Bart. Jamar Chase. 9. 8.5 on the centering. The centering is what's been hitting some of these cards here. The centering. Corners 9.5, edges 9.5, surface 9, and centering 8.5. Lamar Jackson, that will be a 9. 9 on all but the centering, which was a 9.5. Lamar Jackson. Next up, we got a thicker card, a triples. Chase, Burrow, and Jefferson, and you got a 9, which again for the thicker cards is not bad. So 9 on all 5. 9 on all 5 subgrades there. Because they do grade the inner window for the jersey cards as well. Not bad. 9 on all 5. National Treasures trio. Next up, we have a Dylan Carlson. That will be a 9. 9 on corners, 9 on edges, 9 on centering, and an 8.5 on the surface. Dylan Carlson. Next up, Mike Trout. Mike Trout, this is a beauty. 10 on the auto and a 9 on the card for it being this thick. Again, 9, not bad. Birthday clouts. Number 6 out of 18. 8.5 on the corners. Surface a 9.5. Inner window 9.5. Edges 9.5. And centering a 9. Beautiful Mike Trout. That is a beaut. Next up, we have a quad jersey. Smith, Waddle, Jones, and Harris. And that one clocking in at an 8.5. That's kind of more what you typically see in regards to the thicker cards. 8 on the corners, edges 8.5, inner window 8.5, surface 8.5, and the centering a 9 on the quad. And we got one more stack for you, Ian. One more. And if anyone's interested afterwards, I can do some personals. And that will be it for the weekend for me. Next couple of days, I will be catching up, getting stuff ready for shipping. We got a Justin Herbert. You know what? I'm going to leave these in the sleeves. Let's leave these in the sleeves here. You should still be able to see this. Save a little time. Red, white, blue, Justin Herbert. 8.5 centering, 9 corners, 9 edges, 9.5 on the surface. Shohei Ohtani. 9.5. Nice. 9.5 on the Shohei Ohtani. Corners, surface, edges, all 9.5, and a 9 on the centering. Joe Burrow Select Premier, a 9 on that. Again, 8.5 on the centering, 9 edges, 9.5 corners, and surface. James Morgan Select. That will be a 9. Surface 8.5, edges 9, centering 9, and a 9.5 on the corners. An Onyx, Zach Wilson, a 10 on your auto, and a 9 on the card. 9 on all but the centering, which was a 9.5. Zach Wilson. Danny Marino will be a 9.5. Nice. So close to a 10. Oh, man, so close. 10 on the edges, 10 on the corners, 9.5 surface, 9.5 centering. Man, so close to a 10 on the downtown. That would have been killer. Ah, man. Zach Wilson, portraits, rated rookie, a 9.5 across the board. All 4 subgrades, 9.5 on the Zach Wilson. A triple of Tony, Pitts, and Trask, a 9 on that. So you got 9.5 on the inner window, 9 surface on edges and centering, and an 8.5 on the corners. And your final card, a Jacob Harris, will be a 9.5. Jacob Harris, 9.5 on all but your edges, which was a 9. There you are, Ian. Again, thank you for submitting those cards with me. Obviously, you're local, so you can come pick those up at your convenience. Again, appreciate you submitting those. These all aside for you here. And that's all. That's all, folks, for the MNT reveal. You're very welcome. And if anyone's interested in any personals now, I'll give that opportunity. I got some packs back there. They're kind of buried behind all the graded cards. I'll move these off the table. Just push these guys aside here. So this is what we got open pack-wise. If anyone's interested in any boxes, let me know. All right. If anyone's interested in anything, just let me know. I can send you the list of what I got box-wise. Otherwise, we'll sign off for the weekend. All right, not seeing any further comments, so that will be all for tonight. Thank you again, everybody who were submitting cards to this. Yeah, you're very welcome, Josh. Thanks again, Lindsay, Ian. And I wish you guys a great rest of your weekend. Cheers, everybody.